Thank you for tuning in again. It's your man, H-Rap-B on Built for This Network. This is a podcast called The End of the Bench. As usual, I let you know it's a podcast because people always say they miss my show. My show is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on Spreaker.com, on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, and Podcast Addict, or wherever you download your podcasts, as I do every week. I want to send respect to my ancestors. The reason I send respect to my ancestors is because without them, there is no me. Just talk to me once you speak publicly. If you want the protections and blessings of your ancestors, you must acknowledge them. Therefore, I acknowledge them every week. That goes to my family members connected to the Whitmore family, Pollard family, Bailey, Pollard, Turner, Cotton, Lansdowne, Lincoln, Duncan, and anybody who's watching my show knows me, my mother, my father, my brothers, and my sisters, the Williams clan. We are in the building. Now, as I stated, this is a podcast. What I do on this show is, hopefully, I enlighten my folks. There's a lot going on in the world today, and I do my very best to intently give you information that otherwise may not be given. A lot of us are enlightened, but a lot of us are not. Therefore, it is my job to assist you in getting this information to you, because as I get this information to you, it only will do you and me better. The more you know about you, the better you would do in regards to you. And the more we know about each other and our history, the better off we shall be. This is why I do this. This is why I do this every week. Shout out to Michelle Smith with one L. Michelle Smith with one L. Thank you. Now, what I want to do, people, is talk about this week in our community, man. We've had a very interesting week, if nothing else. We got politics going on. We got social issues going on. There's a lot going on in our community. We must do our very best to make sure we, as a community, are getting the best out of the issues, out of the news that we need. You know, a lot of things are being spread. Propaganda is being spread on a regular basis. You get information that you cannot use. You get information that you can use. There's a lot going on in the community. So what I do again is I want to share this information with you, so you can tell a friend to tune in, and you can also tell a friend to subscribe, as it states on the bottom of the page. If you're on the YouTube page, thank you for listening. Subscribe and hit the like button. And the subscription is to Built for This Network. The Built for This Network, first and foremost, that's the home base. Home base is Built for This Network. And if you are listening from Built for This Network, please hit the like and the share. And if you're not, then what I want you to do is do this. I want you to hit that hit the button called hit the subscribe and like button. I want you to go to YouTube, The End of the Bench, THAENDOFDABENCH. You'll see my microphone, which is my logo. Then you hit subscribe, and you'll be able to take care of that. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. Thank you for tuning in. I see 3 people are watching it. 4 people have already hit it. Thank you for tuning in. It is a pleasure to get you this information. Let me talk about something that is extremely dangerous to people in our community, first and foremost, right? What's extremely dangerous to the people in our community is this. We have a lot of people who are emotionally involved in what's going on. I got my man Big Illinois signing me in on the YouTube side of the game, and I got Jay Ron from Canada. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's much, much, much love to both of you guys. But what I want to talk about now is the Derek Chauvin case. First and foremost, we're not going to let mainstream media, or as I call it, white-facing media, determine what this case is going to be called. It is not the George Floyd case. George Floyd is the victim. You didn't hear about the Nicole Brown Simpson case when O.J. allegedly murdered her. So we're not going to use this as a George Floyd case. We're not going to allow these idiots and these self-hating sycophants to determine what this is going to be called. This is the Derek Chauvin murder case. First and foremost, the judge reinstated the Murder 3 account on him, which is a good thing, because Murder 3 is just simply when you are charged with a murder of a person. Murder 1 is intent. I mean, he woke up that morning and said, I'm going to kill a black man, bumped into this man and said, You the one. Murder three is you murdered me. You may have not intended to do it, but your actions, my murder is the result of your actions, which is easier to prove. And in a lot of cases, these guys go home. These police officers or these Gestapo, they go home because of the wording. A lot of people have gone home because of murder one. Again, as I stated just a second ago, murder one is waking up that morning, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm on my way to work. I'm killing somebody. I'm in the shower. I'm killing somebody today in the car. You can't prove that. That's why these dudes go home. Murder three is I was there. I showed up. My actions resulted in your death. I killed you. So we stand a chance. But this is the United States of America. I'm not some anti-Americanist. I am anti-establishment. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm not some anarchist. But I have a lot of faith in the system. The system has failed us time and time again. So what I want my brothers and my sisters to realize is this: first and foremost, stop arguing with these people who have whose minds are made up. Their minds are made up, and they're gonna sign up with whatever the TV tells them, and they're gonna call themselves conservatives. And they're gonna say that you're uninformed. Would you argue with somebody about the complexion of your skin? Would you argue with somebody about how many noses are on your face? Would you argue with somebody about how many eyes are in your head? No, you wouldn't. So if this is something that you know because you've paid attention, why would you argue with somebody about that? We're not gonna do that anymore, okay? So with this case, what I want y'all to do is stop acting like racism just started today. Because 30 years ago, last Tuesday, was the 30 years ago, last Tuesday, as I stated, was the 30-year anniversary of the Rodney King trial. You saw a man hit Rodney King in his head 56 times. You saw men repeatedly beat him across his legs, chest, arms, and head. And all of them went home, and they had to get him in a civil trial, because then they try to trick you into saying, well, it's easy in the civil trial, but it's not easier to see someone get almost beat to death. So when this should just basically charge you to make amends with the people in your community, the people in your family, and the people that are around you that look like you, because you should be going, we are all we have, and we need to make amends for things that we cannot fix. We can't fix the laws. We can't make people realize that racism is real. We cannot make people have empathy, because if it's not in you at this point, it's not going to be in you, and stop trying to convince people of these things. But what we can do is this. We can realize that the petty differences that we have as human beings can be put to the side. We cannot create some rainbow coalition unless your situation is better. Am I asking you to like every person from our community? No. I'm asking you to treat everybody in our community like you would treat your grandmother, your grandfather, anybody else in the world that you respect, right? See, because this case is going to show you what time it is. The reason I'm focusing on this is this. 1 year, almost a year ago, our brother, Big George Floyd, God rest his soul, he transitioned at the hands of a police officer. And at that point, this is a sad commentary. 60% of the people in America said that was murder. It's down to 30 now. And if it's down to 30 now, and everybody in the world is talking about this, how could you possibly get an honest to God jury to make sure this is going to happen? All you need is one person to say, no, that wasn't murder. And he goes home, point blank, period, in a sentence. You had people not convict people who, we saw another video 2 or 3 years ago by a young brother here in Chicago, Laquan McDonald. When Laquan McDonald was gunned down, I think it was on Cicero Avenue here in Chicago, Illinois. It's a documentary on Showtime called 17 Shots. On 17 shots, you still have officers saying he did the right thing, he feared for his life. When you have these things and people lining up years and years and years and years later saying, this is not what, I'm not going to believe my lying ass eyes. I'm going to believe what the TV said. That and that time only should you realize things are not stacked in my favor. Are they ever going to be stacked in your favor? Don't take my word for it, but I doubt it. But what can be stacked in my favor is the fact that I got friends. Shout out to my man, D Great, who just got it on the scene. Thank you for the support. Mad love to you, brother. What you can do is the fact that Marcus is my friend. Vern Rich is my friend. Anthony Madison is my friend. And Anthony Lansdowne is my friend. The fact that we all live in the four corners of the United States of America, what, three of the four corners of the United States of America, lets you know that it don't take a whole lot for us to work together. Me and one of my new friends, brother by the name of TC, and a brother by the name of Robert Orr, we were on the phone today, and we got into a heated discussion. But guess what? We stopped, took a breath, started listening, and then we pieced it out, and we started talking about stuff that wasn't so serious. So if we can do that, you can do it too. And if you have issues and differences with people in your community or your family or your local surroundings, those things can be fixed. Unless you're ready to fix those things, you're going to be subject to the rule of the people who don't like you. This cop may not go to jail, but that shouldn't disturb you. That shouldn't disturb your community. What that should do is galvanize your community. Because at that point, just imagine, I'm just saying this as an example, and it should be followed through. Right out there where my man DeMarcus lives in South Central Los Angeles, there are a couple of grocery stores that's going to be closed. What we need to do is start putting pressure on local millionaires, local businessmen, and other people who pay attention to things like this and say, hey, why don't you open these grocery stores? Hey, LeBron James, hey, Anthony Davis, hey, Paul George, hey, Kawhi Leonard. There are 3 Krogers that are going to be closed. Why don't you buy those Krogers and make them something like an NBA, and then we start shopping with y'all? See, we live in a capitalistic society. The only thing capitalists understand is money. Money being removed from their pockets. So, okay, y'all want to play those games? What we're going to do is go over here and do all our shopping. Just imagine if most people in South Central, most people in Watts, most people in Compton, most people just start going to those stores and buying them out and forcing them to become bigger and stronger and bigger and stronger. What happens then? All of a sudden, people want to know what's going on. Why do you think you see so many brown people? Well, not brown people as in Latinos, but brown people as in the color of my skin and color more than likely your skin. Why do you think those people are? Why do you think those people are on TV? Because it was a study done, New York Times study done, that Black people watch more TV than anybody in the country. So, in order to get those dollars, those advertisement dollars, what do they have to do? This is what they had to do. They had to put themselves in a situation. To whereas Black people are being maximized on television. So, how do you get max? Now you get to set their money out and make people think, oh, they're on our side. And now people are start watching more television. Black people watching more television because we got people on a lot of shows. That's why this diversity comes about. That's why things like that are happening. It's not because of some come to Jesus moment that these capitalists have had. No, because if Black and brown people, I am speaking about the Latino people, if they're sitting in front of TV more, they need to have more representation to keep them focused. And if you put them on TV more and they're more focused, then you get more Chevy commercials, more Diet Coke commercials, on whatever you're trying to sell. Those commercials come about, and when you see those commercials, we go and buy. We impulse buyers. We can't keep the money in our pocket in our community and things of that nature. But I would suggest that you do that either way, because they gave Tyler Perry all these BET shows. You got Snowfall on Fox. You got LaShonda Rhimes on ABC. You got somebody on NBC. You got Cedric Entertainment on CBS and things of that nature. This is what you have to be cognizant of. They're not trying to help you. They're just saying, this is what's going on. We need you. We need to rock with you because you are where the money at. Like the dude who got rich a couple of months ago making that commercial, where the money reside. Where the money reside. Yeah, that's why he got rich, because, hey, where the money resides? The money resides in our community. The money resides in our community, and we need to be aware of what's going on. So to destroy things and make it harder, and again, to use the part of the country that my man DeMarcus is from, they destroyed in 1992, 93, they destroyed the entire South Central shopping areas. So now, as they're shopping, they are putting themselves in a situation to where they have to go to unsafe neighborhoods now. Neighborhoods that they're unwanted in. Now the police are harassing them And again, man, if you are around people who don't understand this, why try to convince them? You would you try to convince somebody that the sky is blue? No, you wouldn't. So if you're wasting your time, you need to inform your young people. You need to inform your parents. You need to inform the people that are around you of what's going on, who are willing to listen to you, who are willing to pay attention to what you're saying, not just engage with these damn fools. See, I'm gonna show them because you can't show a damn fool. It's this saying that my grandfather used to say. What do you tell somebody with two black eyes? Nothing. They've been told twice. So why are you beating your head up against the wall trying to convince them? Understand, more than likely this cop is not going to go to jail. And when that cop don't go to jail, if you're not gearing up for with a passport and things of that nature, what you want to do is make sure America is the most comfortable place possible. Stop talking about what's wrong. Don't just come to H-Rap show. Don't come to the end of the bench and listen to what I got to say and say. And then text me afterwards or email me afterwards or hit me up afterwards on Twitter and say, that was some good shit, H-Rap. What you need to be doing is talking to 3 or 4 friends and get them to tune in. And hopefully you can say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start investing in Bitcoin together. We're going to start investing in this together. We're going to learn, you know what, some of these scammers, how they know about these things? Hey, scammer, teach me that. Yeah, I'm going to give you a couple $100 to teach me that because there's a few things on that website that they're getting scammed on. Teach you how to open up a business and teach you how to get money from the government to run that business. So it's free. So what we're going to start doing is working together, and we're going to follow the Republican blueprint. And what we're going to do is use it that way, but we're not going to let none of the money come out of our community. Period. See, you don't fight fire with fire. Salute to our ancestor, the great Fred Hampton. You don't fight fire with fire. You fight fire with whatever you need to do to get things resolved. So if they shoot at me, of course your nature is to fire back. I'm not telling nobody to lay down. No, please don't shoot me. But what I am doing is when they galvanize to get things against you, you galvanize to work those things and put them in another direction. I'm going to keep saying this. I'm going to say this to the day I die. It's 45 to 50 million people in this country from our community. It's not 45. I don't think it's 45 to 50 million people of another community, just a solo community. We're not going to call it white people. Is it 45 to 50 million Greeks, Italians, French, Portuguese, Spanish, English, Irish, German? No. So if we work together, we can accomplish anything. You're talking about a group of people who 4 years out of bondage were in governmental jobs. They were in leadership positions. You don't learn that in school, though, do you? You do not learn that in school. 4 years out of bondage, because we were not slaves. You are not a descendant of a slave. You're a descendant of a human being that was a prisoner of war who was enslaved. So stop calling yourself a slave. Now, if you can do that, Charles Drew, not even 100 years after slavery, with the hard get down. You got people inventing things. Only thing they invented was the patent office, so they could steal stuff from people like me and you. So you got Morris Brown, Bishop in AME Church. You got a university down there in Atlanta, Georgia. So what we got to do is stop falling for the propaganda. Me and my new homie TC, shout out to TC, shout out to Rob Orr, Jaw Jackets tomorrow morning. Shout out to my brother Ernest. Please tune in to him tomorrow at 7 p.m. So, as I was stating, if you could come out of hundreds of years of bondage and be 4 years away, and 4 years later you're in the government, some of that ain't adding up. Hold on. You mean my brothers and sisters, my ancestors, were in bondage for a couple hundred years, and 4 years after that, they learn how to read, and they learn how to be in government? That's part of the lie right there. In the 1800s and in the 1700s, there used to be this thing called the Negro Conference. It was brothers and sisters. I'm going to get the book for y'all next week. I meant to get it this week. It's called the Negro Conference. Just for the record, you got brothers like Booker T. Washington that was there. I mean, not Booker T. Washington. You had brothers like Langston Hughes' grandfather and the grandfather of our great ancestors, W.B. Du Bois. These people were free ancestors who were walking about free, and they had a conference like a Black Expo on reparations in the late 1700s, early 1800s 40 years before slavery. So when you hear that all we were was slaves, this is why I'm asking. Stop referring to yourself as descendants of slaves. Because when you first refer to yourself as less than, you have a less than mentality. And you have a less than mentality, you think it's a ceiling. And there is the sky's the limit, and the limit is sky. So this is why I continue to press these things. And if you and I'm not saying this just because he showed up. Stop tuning in to Collective Perspective. He's gonna tag me in. Y'all, a lot of y'all, my Facebook friends. And if you're not, reach out to me at Brian D. Williams on Facebook. And I'll tag you in. Listen to the brother Ernest. Listen to the brother Dan, Kelvin, and my brother Robert Orr tomorrow evening. These are the kinds of conversations that they're having to enlighten you. The brother Robert Orr is me, the homie Rob, the brother Ernest. Me and Robert Orr refer to him as the guru. The brother is deep. He's spiritual. He's academic. He's empathetic. This is a good brother to follow. I'm glad to call him a new friend as well. But these are the things that you need to know about, because when you find out that there are no limits to what you can do, and if my people were walking around in the United States of America as independent, free-thinking men and women, not slaves, not forced into anything, not forced into destruction, it'll let you know, yeah, I grew up in the hood, but I don't have to be a gangster. I can be a square, and I can invent something. I can develop something. I can create something. I can learn how to code. Rap, what's coding? Remember, I told y'all, I'm not going to be giving you all the answers. I'm going to lead you down rabbit holes so you can find out what coding is. Coding is why you can see me and you can hear me, and you can see digital formats. And that's why you can get into that with nothing but a high school education. If you can code, you can code. Go to Amazon.com and buy Coding for Dummies. Then you can buy other coding books and develop it, and you will be needed as well. Another rabbit hole for you, brothers and sisters. But this is why I'm telling you these things, because I need you to understand there's power in numbers, first and foremost, and there's power. The ultimate power is self-power. And where you get self-power is because when you look around your house and you say, hey, my sister could play the flute, my father could play the drums, my uncle could play the piano. What can I play? That's when the light goes off and you move forward. When you see your ancestors were more than just people who were captured and prisoners of war, then you'll go, guess what? If they could do it, so could I. That's the purpose of this show, brothers and sisters. So back to the situation. I'm not trying to wage war against the police. I'm not trying to do any of that. What I am trying to do, if I'm sorry, I ain't acknowledge her. DJ Purplicious in the building, Bill Fitness Network's own DJ Purplicious. Thank you for joining the show. If I didn't acknowledge you, I apologize. And if I did, that's just more love for you. Now, this is some things I want you to understand. Like I said, if this dude don't go to jail, I don't want you acting a fool and tearing up your stuff. Because guess what? Your grandmother, your grandfather, your cousin, or whoever got prescriptions, insulin, and other things, and you don't need to be out there in that COVID no way. So don't make it more difficult on your family and friends, because America's being America. This is something else I don't want you to fall for. You know, it's an old saying, stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You watched Snowfall a couple other days talking about it. But the ultimate banana in the tailpipe, thank you, Naisha Bunkley. Hey, Sapphire, she makes candles. She gonna give me one of those candles, so I'm gonna end up raffling it off to y'all so we can shout with Naisha too. Big ups to Naisha. One of my entrepreneurial friends. Much love. Thank you, Naisha. But that's what I was saying, man. The banana in the tailpipe is on its way. I'm not anti-cop. I'm not anti-damn thing. I'm pro-me. If you look like this, or if you're a human, if you have a humanitarian mind or spirit, I'm with you. If you don't, I'm not for negotiating with you. I'm not, man, kumbaya. I don't know the words to that song. I've never learned the words to that song, and I'm never going to try to learn the words to that song. But what I am going to do is bring this to our attention. I need us to stop doing a few things. Inevitably, over the next few weeks, because it's starting to get cold in Chicago, it is unseasonably warm. It was 61 degrees at one point today. But this is what I want. I don't want to see none of these people. If you see one of these videos and you share it, if they come down my timeline, I'm unfriending you. And that's how serious I am about this. One of these cops at the cookout, electric sliding. Am I anti-cop? Well, that's a bad question. I am. But do I hate the cops? No. That's a lie too. You know what I mean? I don't like them. That don't mean you don't have to have your own relationship with them. But what I am anti is BS. I'm anti BS. And I don't see no videos with no cops playing basketball with the young brothers, buying ice cream with the young brothers. Hey, let's just slide. None of that. Because that gives you the impression, oh, all cops, it's the bad seed. Well, you know what? We got a whole barrel of sunflower seeds dumped on our community, and we ain't got time to sift through the balance. So none of that. I don't want to see about no cops saving no babies from trees because they're trying to brainwash you into believing something that's not true. I'm just letting you know. You can believe it or not. Those are your choices. But I don't want to see that. The cookout cop, the ice cream cop, the singing with the kids, basketball cop, none of that. No propaganda. I don't want to see no propaganda in the community, y'all. And a couple of y'all might have laughed when I said that, but that's serious, man. Because guess what? Why you don't see no boogieing cops in my neighborhood? I've yet to see a boogieing cop. Never. I'm 50. I ain't never seen a cop in the middle of the street boogieing. Never. Not even no brothers. So, no, sir. We're not going with the boogieing cops. We're not going with the disco cop. We're not going with the ice cream and cool cop. And the most important thing, I don't see no cops at the cookout getting no damn plates, man. Do I want cops to starve? No. Use your money, go get your ass something at lunch, just like I do when I'm at work. Take your ass to Subway. And I'm not asking my brothers and sisters to feel the way about the cops as me. No. I have my own special relationship with the police, Chicago Police Department, and the police department throughout the United States of America. I got my own special relationship with them. And it's not that peaceful. So that's my issue with the cops. But what they try to do is desensitize you to what's really going on. Because no amount of training, brothers and sisters, how many of y'all got trained not to shoot somebody when you get scared? Nobody's had that training. So in order to not shoot somebody, all you have to do is see them as a human or something living. Because guess what? Most of us drive down the street and if you see an animal, a stray animal running in front of your car, you'll slow down, let the animal go. And most of us don't like. Hey, I don't like animals. You ain't a dog, I don't really rock with you. And that's my word. If you ain't a dog, rats, lions, tigers, elephants, no. I walk through the zoo. I'm not. Let me touch them. No, don't want to touch them. It's cool to look at them, and that's it. But that's what I'm trying to say, man. These videos will start to surface. Do not share them because what you're doing is telling people it's okay to murder you. Am I being extreme? I don't think so. Because that's what's happening in our communities. They out here destroying our young people, destroying our women, destroying our brothers, and then a couple of dancing cops, and the cops cool to get the sandwiches and they damn ice cream, and then you go, well, you know what, cops ain't that bad. Hey, until I meet 10,000 good cops, hey, all y'all bad, if you ask me, man. All y'all, man, because I want to see that, man. And guess what? If y'all remember this last year in New York City, you had a bunch of cops buying young brothers and sisters ice cream, and you saw them at the Black Lives Rally march. And remember, they were standing there, we down with Black Lives Matter. And those same 6 officers were part of the insurrection, January 6th. They were there. Oh, we ain't do nothing violent, but you were there. You decided that 80-some million people who voted against the tyrannical practices of one Donald J. Trump, President Trump, were fake, and you said, I'm going to go up here to support the people who do that. Because you know what? Guess what? When Barack Obama used to support our brother right here in Chicago, Bishop Jeremiah Wright, salute to the senior, he had to denounce him. When our senior, the most honorable minister, Louis Farrakhan, he had to denounce him. So if any indication that you cool with our brother Farrakhan or our brother Wright is a damnation to you. You being at an insurrection is a damnation to you as well. We gonna play by the rules that are set in front of us, brothers and sisters. That's what we gonna do. We are not going to allow this nonsense to continue. That's what we're not gonna do. Because when you do that, you continue to fall for the proverbial banana in a tailpipe. Because if I have to get rid of Barack Obama, guess what? Mr. President, you're gonna have to get rid of David Duke and the Proud Boys. But you're not doing that, so we're not doing it either. Because guess what? People like Smith on ESPN and other people that's on TV who talk about that they're conservative and they're right thinking and they don't fall in line. We're not a monolith. Okay, cool. Since we're not a monolith, some of us love the Nation of Islam. Some of us love Jeremiah Wright. Some of us love Bishop T.D. Jakes. Some of us love anybody who preaching. So if some of us love Jeff Ford, Larry Hoover. So if it's okay for you to like David Duke, it's okay for me to like any of those brothers, any of these what they used to call pork chop preachers in the United States of America. He's saying what I think is cool. And that don't mean I'm prejudiced, right? You know, just because I'm a Trump supporter don't mean you're racist, right? Well, but guess what? Most racists seem to like Donald Trump, but that's a whole other conversation for no another day. With that being said, back to the first topic. In the Derek Chauvin case, just to continue the line of thought is this. One of the things that I found out recently with this Derek Chauvin case is this. The very first juror is not a fan of Black Lives Matter. And he's a fan of the police. And now, if you think you can get a fair shake in a fight like that, then you got more faith in me, man. You got more faith in this system than old ladies have in Jesus. Please believe that. And I'm not rocking like that. I'm not saying be anti anything, and I'm gonna continue to say that. You know, I'm not gonna continue to say that. I'm not saying be anti anything, and this is my last time saying this. Hopefully on my show. But what I am saying is, what's good for you is equally good for me. So if you don't want it to look one way for you, don't ask me to be the same way. So be aware, and then you can move forward. Now, I got some good news, and that good news is this: Kenneth Walker. If you don't know who Kenneth Walker is, that's the boyfriend of our late young ancestor, Breonna Taylor. She was transitioned by a police officer, and because her boyfriend, they had their paperwork screwed up, they telling the world, and as I stated last week, they telling the world that her boyfriend was a drug dealer, and that's why they shot up her house. I mentioned this on the Tuesday show where you got instructors in high school level teaching these young people, don't be like Breonna Taylor. So don't go to sleep and relax. Do you want us to be like Botham Jean either? Because he got shot for nothing too by cops. But what I want you to understand is Kenneth Walker, his case has been closed by a judge. And the reason we're talking about his case being closed by a federal judge is this. Because they left his case wide open so they can come back and revisit it, so they can basically rain terror up over him, because this was more than likely what I believe that they were going to do. They was going to lead it over his head, and if he ever got in trouble in his life, they were going to try to charge him with both of those things, then offer him a lesser sentence, so their conviction rate goes up and the scare brothers and sister rate goes up as well. This is what I'm asking you not to fear. This is why I'm telling you, your vote matters in every situation, man. Every situation your vote matters, because when you don't have control of who are the circuit court judges in your area, the federal judges in your area, then somebody with a reasonable mind will not see this case and say, close this down. Enough of this. Enough of this. Close this down. You've destroyed this man's family. You've hurt this man. You killed this woman. You've terrorized them with threats of prosecution. Enough. And you were wrong. If he would have been the drug dealer they were looking for, they might have a half a leg to stand on. If he was that, then they may have a half leg to stand on. But seeing how he's none of that, and he shot them in defense of himself, and they've had to prove that these people didn't announce who they were. Leave that brother alone. Shout out to the judge who dropped them charges, and the people who don't like it.
Shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
And I mean that. Shout out to the number one Chief Rocket Jersey, Vern. Shout out to my man Kirby Alexander thank you for the support. Please hit that like button. Please hit that share button. Continue to support the network. Please continue to show support for the show. Mad love to all of y'all, man. If you want to contribute to the show, just put the Cash App up on the screen. Cash App is the name of the show. The $, the end of the bench. THAENDOFDABENCH. Anything that you can contribute will assist in the production of the show. So, hey, man, contribute. If you like what you're hearing, contribute. If not, man, just continue to listen, man. Much love. Now, one of the things that I want us to get engaged in politically about is this. Your record. See, a lot of people don't pay attention to their record because if I don't have no convictions, I'm cool. And in some states, that is the truth. But then in a lot of states, if you're wrongfully accused of something, you go to court, you beat that case. And then if you beat that case, what happens is this. You beat that case, and when they pull up your name for a background check, arrested for domestic violence. Me and you both know the two words together, domestic violence, you ain't getting that job. Your arrest records need to be expunged as well. You're going to be on trial for your name for the rest of your life. Shout out to the homie J.H. Shabazz. It's always good to see you, brother. Thank you for the support. And like I was saying, your arrest record, you need to contact your senators, your governors. You need to be on the phone with everybody about this because, brothers and sisters, you can get arrested for anything in the United States of America. And they'll trump up charges like they just did with our brother Derek Walker. He needs to be on the phone with them too. He needs to be on the phone saying, move this Breonna Taylor thing from my name because he got arrested, brothers and sisters. He got charged, brothers and sisters. The case got kicked out, and then they dismissed the charges. But he is going to be charged. If you don't understand that my son is a junior, one time I had a physical altercation with a physician about my daughter. My son got arrested. Oh, you beat up a doctor. Came up on his name. Now, did I get convicted? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But it was brought to my attention. That's on my name. So I had to contact people and have that expunged. So we need to get on the phone with your alderman, if you have aldermen, your committeemen, if you have those, your state senators, your state representatives, and things of that nature, and get together and get these things removed from my name. Because when people do background checks, when you're pulled over, when you're pulled over by a police officer, and he types up your name, violence come up. And guess what that leads to? Well, my name will be violence come up. And when that violence comes up, he's scared. So if he shoots me, he was just in fear of his life. Remember? He in fear for his life because that's what they do all the time. And I will say this one. If I say this once, I'll say it 10,000 times. You cannot train out the fact that you are willing to murder me with no effect in your day. Because all I had to say is I was scared. I'm scared for my life. That's why I killed him. He's a big black guy. He's 6 foot, almost 6 foot tall. He's 260 pounds. I was in fear of my life. And then you're murdered. Because when he pulled my name up, violence is on there. Was I convicted? No. Threw it out of court. No contest. Say, get out of here. But it's there. And then when it's there, it comes up on my name. And then the cop, because they ran my name before they even got to my car, because they ran my car. So who's the owner of the car? He got this. Okay, cool. Bam. Just like with my son. When they arrested my son. They're not supposed to run your place until you break the law. They unlawfully ran my son's place and found out he has a concealed carry. Where's they walked up to his car and asked him, where's the weapon? I thought you weren't supposed to run my place since I did something wrong. This is a random stop, right? So what you run my place for? Again, see, everybody's supposed to be stupid enough not to know the law. When you know the law, you're dangerous. And when you're dangerous, you're going to be, it is what it is. When you're black and dangerous, you might not be here tomorrow. When you're white and dangerous, you got a better chance to make it. You got a great chance to make it tomorrow. But these are the things that you want to be aware of These are the things that could have stopped you from getting a job. You had no clue. This is why you didn't get that job because they did this, and you had an erroneous arrest on your, a domestic violence charge. But that was just because the girl was mad at me, or we were arguing. If you don't believe me, Rod Smith, former National Football League, a wide receiver, potential Hall of Famer. Rod Smith, girlfriend in Denver, Colorado, called the police because they were arguing. They were yelling. Rod Smith got charged with domestic violence. Didn't ever lay a hand on this woman. Rod Smith go to jail for domestic violence. He had to plead out to a lesser charge, but at the end of the day, that's on his name forever. And Rod Smith, as far as I know, has never hit a woman. Another thing we need to be working on: these voters' rights. Now, how many of you people are familiar with the 1954 Voting Act, Civil Rights Act, 1954 judgment in regards to civil rights and segregation? They made separate but equal legal, right? But what they did, they put into play is we could be over here and y'all could be over there, separate but equal. So you're supposed to get the same amount of money. What they're doing is putting that to the test now, because if we have equal voting situations over here, and y'all got equal voting situations over there, we're going to diminish your ability to vote. We're going to use the law against you. This is why you always have to be paying attention. I posted this in my group, Build and Destroy, where I'm building up the community, destroying the lies and propaganda. And we're going to talk about it now. This is why me and you and everybody else that looks like us and everybody who want to fall into that category, they purposely fall into that category of minority. This is why you need to be paying attention to S1. It's the reason it's S1 because it's now in the Senate, and it used to be HR1 because the House of Representatives had to vote on it, and now it's S1 because the Senate has to get hold to it. You need to be on the phone with your people who you voted for, who are there speaking for you, and understand that you do not want the anti-voter right protections to get shut down. Because under this is why you wouldn't be able to give somebody, okay, 80% of the black people use the ability to vote on the weekend. 80% of the black people use the vote on Sunday to do that. We gonna limit voting on Sunday. We gonna limit write-in vote, absentee voting. You're gonna have an act of God for absentee voting. You're gonna have an act of God for all of this, and we even gonna reduce it to the fact that because we turned it into a situation down there in Georgia last time. Sister Stacey Abrams, salute to Sister Stacey Abrams, and other people. Our Sister Brown, I can't think of her first name, last name Brown. Black Votes Matter. What they was doing was renting buses, turning into a situation, food trucks up there. So you out there waiting 6-8 hours to vote. You get something to eat while you're out there. They trying to make that illegal. All you have to do is vote for the John Lewis Voter Rights Act, get that passed. President Biden, you was talking about what you've done in your first 30 days, in your first 60 days. We need you to pass that John Lewis Act, that anti-lynching act. See, because you got dumbasses like Herschel Walker and others to try to shoot these things down. Ignore racism. It'll go away. Well, when is it going to go away, Herschel? See, just because these doofuses can run up with a football in their hand, don't mean you can speak for me, man. I'm going to need you to shut the hell up. Just speak for humanity. If you're going to speak for human beings. Don't speak as part of our community, speaking against our community. I have no time for that. None. But we need to start talking about these things. These are the things that they are trying to wind the clock back to Jim Crow. And Jim Crow didn't affect anybody but me and you. Let's talk about feminists. The feminists don't affect the sisters. Because guess what? They wanted the right to vote. Sisters they wanted the right to work. Sisters been working since the end of bondage. Sisters ain't never had no problem getting up and working. Because they was taking care of your damn kids and they was cooking your damn meals. So don't talk about no, we can't work. That's your fight. It's your fight. I don't want to hear that. Because black women been working for the longest, homie. My grandmother, my great grandmother, 17 cents a year, sharecropping. My great grandmother. So I want to hear that. So this feminism, we looking out for the sisters. Yes, that's why when President Trump was elected at the inauguration, the day after the inauguration, y'all did a women's march, and then none of the sisters like Tamika Mallory and those sisters who out there in the street, Stacey Abrams, none of them got the invite. We forgot. Okay, we're gonna forget to support y'all. Is that the reason? Trayvon Rice, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Mike Brown, and all these other brothers who've been shot cold-blooded in the street. Y'all wasn't there at those rallies either. Or y'all forgot to get the memo. Okay. But so sisters, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's what I'm saying, man. You can say what you want to say, do what you got to do, and believe what you want to believe. We're not going down with that no more, man. I got a sister here in Chicago, good friend, Wanda. I bet you I call Wanda right now. Wanda ain't get no calls from no damn women's groups when the police killed our son. So don't tell me about no feminism. This us, man. So we got to get work on that anti-lynching bill and S1 to be passed so they can stop the voters suppression and the anti-lynching bill. This anti-lynching bill been on the table for almost 100 years. 100 years, man. I salute to my man Ben from BX3. He on the show with me Monday night. Call Forecast. Salute to my good brother. Yeah, your boy out here busy, man. We trying to entertain. We trying to enlighten. We trying to entertain. We trying to enlighten. And yeah, I do laugh, man. I might be the silliest guy you ever meet, but I'm having fun at this. But I just feel that we need to talk about these things. I need to get this information to you. I need to make this handily available to you so you can be armed with information, man. Anytime you're armed with information, you put yourself in a situation to whereas you will win. Period, man. That's all that's gonna happen. You're gonna win because without this information, you will continue to be duped, tricked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and had. Yeah, that's a little cliche, but it's the truth. It's the honest to God truth. People are not being fair with us, so we need to galvanize and stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You know how Joe Biden signed that bill early, or one day early? The reason our President Joe Biden signed that bill one day early because the news of Natchez, Mississippi and Jackson, Mississippi not having power, not having clean water, and things that are necessary to be a prominent human being in the United States of America, those things were not addressed. Natchez, Mississippi, population 87% black. Jackson, Mississippi, population 80% black. Nobody's talking about those things. But the whole world knew about when Texas shut down, right? The whole world knew about that. See, this is why you must have proper representation. The state of Mississippi is 34% black. 34%. I doubt if any other community has that many people in that state. You know, you got Native Americans, you got Latinos, and all sorts of people. We have enough people with the people who believe in the humanity that we display and the people who are allies and us to run that state. That way we can get grids, electrical grids, power grid, electrical and power grids for the gas for your house, the power for your house. And then you got clean water. It's a brother who was up there in Flint who figured out a way to clean out their water. Why ain't that dude a quadrillionaire? We on some Fat Albert numbers. He should have $11 million right now. He should have $11 billion. Where's he at? Why did you have people breaking in and destroying his equipment when he can keep us alive? But we're not focusing. We're not educating ourselves. We're not being informed about these things. Our brothers and sisters in Mississippi, they need us, man. That's why them people, Sister Brown, Shonda Brown, Tamika Mallory, it's literally hundreds of our brothers and sisters spearhead these campaigns to bring enlightenment to our brothers and sisters and put us in the best possible situation. And when you have that, they need our tools and fuels, man. They need our tools and fuels. We shoot them $5, $10. Don't buy a Subway sandwich. Bring your lunch. Shoot that money down to those people. Black voters matter. That's what you do. So you can help out people who look like you. See, what we're not hearing about is this. I keep this third week in a row. I've said it. The largest population of people that look like this, the people that do this, they live south of the Mason-Dixon line. The southern states is where we're heavily populated. What you don't hear about on TV is there's a mass exodus from the north and the west back to the south. Land is cheap, and we can put ourselves in a better situation. Just imagine if they do what we asked, like if the athletes do what I asked them to do, right? 3 Kroger shut down due to not enough traffic. If the athletes buy, just Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and the brother Russell Westbrook put their little twos and fews together and buy those Krogers in the LA. That's gonna cut down, that's gonna close down. And then they got players. And their sister's a sister in Compton, young sister too, like 32, between 28 and 32. She owned a grocery store. What if they partnered with her? She knows how to run a grocery store, and we exclusively shop there. What if those same restaurants had food from Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia from Black-owned farmers? How about that? How about that? That's how we have to start thinking, man. We have to cooperative economics, collective everything, because nobody is trying to rock with us. Do we have allies from other communities? Hell yeah. But how about this? You build a floor. That's called the foundation. You set parameters, you got the design for every room, and that way you rocking like that. Then as you rock like that, this is what you do. You got wood, you got mortar, you got concrete, you got everything to create these things in the house. Insulation and things like that. What we have to do is set up a foundation, so then we can get all of the other stuff to work properly. If we don't have a foundation, why would you help me? And most important, as we are suggested to build these rainbow coalitions, when our brothers and allies from other communities get what they want, they go back to their communities with their own God, with their own language, with their own infrastructure, with their own education. And guess what? We are left with none, and we get choked out. Because then we're complaining. And then you know what those people do? They look at you and go, why y'all didn't get y'all's when we got ours? Reparations, fair treatment. If you don't believe me, it's this one guy. I think he's from Birmingham, Alabama. His name is Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was killed April 4th, 1968. He had a Rainbow Coalition. Where all the help? There's this other brother that lived down the street from my house. His name is Chairman Fred Hampton. God rest both of their souls. When they were murdered, where's all the help? Am I telling people that they wrong? No. But people help their own. I'm going to help Chief Rocker. I'm not going to help little boy over here that I don't know. They'll see Chief Rocker on the ground. Once we dust off Chief Rocker, you straight, Chief? Then we go over there and help the little boy who's not part of our get down. But until me and Chief stands up, I don't know. Am I wrong for that? If you think I'm wrong, so. But I know I'm not wrong. Now, as I was stating, man, we must get our acts together in regards to this, man. There's nothing wrong with helping. There's nothing wrong with being a part of a coalition. But you cannot clean my house if your house funky as a goat. That's just what time it is, man. I'm sorry, we cannot do that anymore, man. We cannot do that anymore. The anti-lynching bill, the anti-voters act, the S1, and John Lewis anti-lynching bill. We got to get that cracking right now. And then we got to start creating our foundation. It's another story that bothers me. This is why I created this show. This is why I do the show. They talking about raising minimum wage. How about you raise medium wage? Who the fuck wants to make minimum wage, man? I don't want to make minimum wage. Hey, I'm old enough to remember when I got my first job, a high school job. Minimum wage is $3.35 an hour. I didn't want to make that big. Why are we talking about minimum wage? And why are y'all pretending that if they raise minimum wage, they're not going to raise the cost of bread and rent and all this other stuff? So we back at minimum wage. We back at struggling. How about this, man? Raise median wage. Leave minimum wage where it's at for the high school kids. You know, we need a couple extra coins. You want to buy your own Jordans and video games. That's what you do. Who cares what you can't leave? Listen to what they arguing about. If I could pay you less, I would. And you want to even, why are we negotiating at the floor? Raise that single mama who, like my mama, with a dead fiance, raise her wage. Who busting her ass in college, raising 3 kids in our house, raise her wage up. Who the hell wants to make me? I would tell you what, stop paying people what they worth and what they contributing to your company, and we don't have to worry about who cares what minimum wage is. This is the backward thinking that we do, people. Hey, I want to raise the wage amount that if they can legally if I can legally pay you nothing, I would. Like, no offense to the service industry. Like, if I could pay you and make you work off tips like waiters and waitresses, I would. Why are we always starting off at the floor? Start off right here. Wait a minute. The CEO of this company makes $44 million a year. Sports fans, Roger Goodell makes more than 99% of the players in the National Football League. He ain't tackled. He ain't ran. He ain't blocked. He ain't done nothing. Oh, well, he made the league. He took the league from a $100 million business to a multi-billion-dollar business. When he got here, we was making $1 billion a year. Now we're making $40 billion a year. So, if don't nobody show up the first Sunday in September, is Roger Goodell going to run his ass down there and run some plays? No. So, look, if you're the CEO of Pepsi, Coke, McDonald's, I'm in here getting burned by this damn grease, this damn pot. I'm going home smell like a damn brewery every day. I should be able to afford and live. You know what? Most of the dudes from 100 years ago who created things, Henry Ford is who I'm thinking of. You know what he said? I'm gonna make this product, and I want to pay my people so they can afford it. So if all goes bad, the dude who made that car will go bad. Let's get that mentality back, man. Bro, we ain't got no time to be talking about no damn minimum wage. People out here starving. People out here busting their ass, celebrating for a motherfucking stimulus check. Damn that. And anybody who, Biden gonna raise the minimum wage. To what? How about this? If they raise the minimum wage, if you make $20 an hour and you struggling, and they raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, are they giving you a raise? No. No. So now what? I want to hear that. Yeah, I want to hear that, man. Raise the wages of the people who work every day. You know what? Even the dumbass cell phone companies got tired of other cell phone companies saying, we'll pay your way out if you come over here. Now AT&T go, hey, man, even if you're a new customer, better deal, come on, we're going to hit you with the new customer deal. If you stay with us, you can get the new customer rate. So I don't want to hear about no minimum wage. Raise that dude pay who been there 3 years. Raise that lady pay who been there 15 years. Raise that janitor pay that been there 20 years. That's how you make it work. The minimum wage. People, we have to start hearing what they're saying. If we can legally pay you less, we're gonna give you more. What kind of silly? Knock it off, man. No more, no more. We're not falling for no more of these tricks, y'all. No more tricks. We are not doing that anymore. We are going to raise minimum wage. Like the homie Jay Ron from Canada just said, squares $15. I'm gonna work an hour to get a pack of squares, which is squares cost more than crack, man. Listen to that, man. Cigarettes cost more than crack. A gallon of gas is what they probably paying, half of what you paying. Knock it off, fellas. People, we have to be aware of what's being said to us. Minimum wage. Oh, rap, you don't want people to get more? No. I just want you to pay me a good wage when I walk in the door. I used to work, last job I had, sitting at a desk. I got a 6-figure raise. I sat at the desk just like I'm sitting here right now and said, man, excuse me, I was making 6 figures. I got a raise, so I was making 6 figures. I'm sitting at my desk, 36 years old, thinking, good Lord, I made it. I'm on my way. And I looked over at the numbers, and I realized, damn, in the last 6 months, I made them $4.8 million. And they gonna pay me this funky ass $110,000. If I was selling ass, I would get a better rate. Hoes get a better rate than that. Hookers with a pimp get a better rate than that. A pimp will give a hoe $400,000 if he made $4 million. Now, here you go. If I was selling crack, I would be killing it if I made some kingpin $4 million in 6 months. I would have at least $1.5 million. But I thought I was making it at 110. Listen to this, man. And you want to raise people fair up, their pay up to $100,000. I mean, $15 an hour. People, if you ever want to know what somebody makes, all you have to do is multiply whatever they make by 2,080. 2,080. That's how many hours the average person works a week without overtime. 15 times 2,008 ain't even $33,000. Shout out to Trey Natural. She in the building. Another entrepreneur that supports the show. Much love. If y'all want to check in with her, man, follow on that thing. Get at her on Facebook. You know, it's mad love to her. It's my little sister. Man, good people, man. And as I showed y'all, man, this is what we doing on here, man. And when I wrap up, that's brought to you by Trey Natural. You see it, man. It's on the screen. Support her, man. Go to Facebook, support her, man. Quality product. Got your boy out here looking good. Shell out here smelling good. That's how we doing it, man. But on the serious side, man. But for real, man, listen to what is being said to you, man. We're gonna raise the minimum wage. We're gonna make it so you can just struggle. Listen to that, dog. We're gonna make it so you just struggling. Not struggling like motherfucker. They're struggling. Really? Oh, good looking out, boy. Well, I be real good now, Mr. K. Get the fuck. Stop, man. We gotta stop this, y'all. We gotta stop this, man. Stop listening to people and hear them. See, excuse me. Let's stop hearing what they say and listening. Hearing is what God made. Listening is a cognitive choice. Like you chose to listen to my ass today. You know, you can hear anybody can just turn it on and walk away. But man, like my man, somebody just said, Jay, I want the governor to make minimum wage. Why don't we get some of these damn political people, get their ass working at minimum wage? That's what we need to do. You cannot live off $32,000 a year. You can. But you're going to be the ramen noodles, hot crunchy cheese curl eating this dude in the world or woman in the world. Think about this. If you get you a 100 old lady and you get you a 100 old man and you put them together at $15 an hour, y'all going to be making what the average person living decent make with no kids. You know what I'm saying? So knock it off, man. Yes. These politicians, no, we need, man. But again, goes back to the unity thing I keep telling y'all about, man. This is why unity is so important. Because if you shopping with your brothers and sisters and you start your own get downs, then you cool. Because if we working for number one Chief Rocker Jersey Furniture at the Rocker restaurant, and we working at the Trade Naturals, and we working at JA grocery store, and we working at D Great liquor store, they not paying us $15 an hour. They paying us enough so we can wah. But they not. Hey man, this the ultimate trick to keep you in poverty, man. Because if you don't think bread finna be $4 if you make $15 an hour, you crazy as rich as speck. You crazy as all hell and all outside, boy. I'm telling you, keep it up. You fighting for minimum wage. You fighting the struggle, man. You fighting the struggle. Another thing is this. This is information. We're going to talk about education. For the last 5 years, I've been on air. And I started preaching right around the NCAA tournament. Brothers need to start going to the HBCUs. Now, with a little more enlightenment, I'm looking at the brother David West. Shout out to David West. I forgot the name of the industry company he built. David West, formerly of the National Basketball Association, David West, has an organization that's taking young athletes who want to have aspiration of being pro. What he's doing is this. You don't have to go to college. You're going to go be able to own your own image, make money off your own image, play in this league, get developed, and potentially go pro, right? From 16 to 22. They're going to be making $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. You also will have the option to go to a local or a trade or universities, trade school or university. This is going to be it's set up to be just like college athletics with basketball. And you will put yourself in a situation where you earn it for your folks. This is the model that I like even more than going to HBCUs, because you know why? HBCUs ain't for everybody. College ain't for everybody, man. All of us are astute enough to go to a university. We have the capacity to attend a university. But a university is not for everyone. And guess what? Be honest with yourself. You can put it in the chat room. You can hit your boy up or whatever. How many of us were truly ready for college? I was watching one of the homies today. He's on another podcast. He is a former CIA, DIA, and FBI agent. CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, DIA, Defense Agency Intelligence, Defense something Intelligence, and FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations. These are the people who protect us every day. He didn't know what he wanted to do. He was 25. And this dude was a master in those three agencies. He is widely respected. He was on a podcast talking about the things that he learned, advantages that he got. But he didn't realize what he wanted to do until he was 30. Well, he said he started applying in 98, which made him 28. And he got the job in 2000. He got the job in 03. Listen to that. He made him the same age. He was 33 years old when he got the job. He didn't figure out that's what he wanted to do until he was 31. So how could an 18-year-old, 13 years his junior, 15 years his junior, understand that? He can't. So with this new league, you'll be given the responsibility of practicing, the responsibility of taking care of your family, the responsibility of trying to be the best possible athlete you can be, as well as having the money to do it. Having the money to do it. So college isn't going to be the only way to do this. You can go it the David West way. I got to find out. I got to think of it. I should look it up right now, man, because these are things that we need to support. We need these things that we need to get behind. These are things that need to be put into play with us, because when David West is doing these things, man, he needs to be supported and he needs to be acknowledged as an excellent human being for coming up with these things, right? Because as he's coming up with these things, he's giving young people options. And if you're giving young people options, then it's on. And of course, they ain't got this online. No way. I'm gonna find it for you because that's why I'm here. I'm gonna find it for you because that's why I'm here. I brought it to you, so I'm definitely gonna bring it to you in that way as well. Because the United States Basketball Association. That's what it is. I'm gonna get you this information. So continue to follow me at hrap_B, or follow me on Facebook at Brian D. Williams. Send me a request. Don't have no scantily dressed stuff because I'm not doing that. Look like a human being. I ain't following you, because if you dress too stupid, that means you're gonna be talking about your baby daddy, and I don't want to see none of that nonsense. Look, you know what? Look for Build and Destroy. Go in there. No, I don't want to hear about your damn babies. But that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, man. There are options. There are options in regards to this, because if David West had the wherewithal to help us out in this way, you don't have to go to a university, because a lot of us are not academically inclined in that way. Some of us learn by listening. Some of us learn by reading. Some of us learn by doing. And it's all lecture style teaching. So only 20% of us are getting caught by that. If only 20% of us are retaining the information, what the hell are you doing in front of the class teacher? Which pushed me in another story this week. Two Georgetown professors get called on. See, this is, again, our ancestors continue to show us what time it is. We keep throwing our watches in the garbage, though. Oh, no, none of that. That's not really happening. That's just stuff that the woke or the silly Negroes are talking about. When the ancestors keep showing you, you're going to keep seeing it over and over and over and over. But it's up to you to suck that in. Two white professors on Zoom. The ancestors made the Zoom thing work, because otherwise you still would have people. And then there's still people going, oh, man, that was just them two. Okay, let's just say it's one or two people at every University of the United States of America, historically white University of the United States of America. How many people have they discouraged? How many people have they put out of the mind state of being attorneys? How many people have flunked out of colleges and universities throughout the United States of America because of two churches like this? These two people, I might look it up. I might look it up. These two, this man and this woman, talking about how most of the kids that are struggling are black kids, and this, that, and the third. And I didn't like shit at all. And this what time it is, they get fired. And as Dr. Greg Carr said, they shouldn't have been fired. They should have been put on blast. When you put their ass on blast, they'll cut that nonsense out. And if they cut that nonsense out, then you stand a chance. But don't nobody want to talk about it, man. Don't nobody want to talk about it. I'm going to show y'all the 2 minutes of this. See if I get this on the split screen. Let me put it on pause. Yeah, I found it, y'all. I'm going to play a little 2-minute clip for y'all. Show y'all where the money resides. Show y'all where the money resides. That's what time it is. Yep. We're going to be able to put some of this nonsense on blast. We we got to show people this, man. We have to show we have to show and prove with these people because people don't have our best interest in mind.
I end up having this, angst every semester that a lot of my lower ones are blacks.
Ex-Georgetown law professor Sandra Seller's conversation with Professor David Batson was recorded on Zoom. We've learned the video was made available to their students. It's been viewed more than 600,000 times on Twitter.
It's some really good ones, but there are also usually some that are just plain at the bottom and drives me crazy.
It was almost a knowing type of silence, as if he was co-signing.
Eric Williams is a D.C. civil rights attorney and Georgetown alumnus. He encouraged alumni to pull their financial support of the school if Sellers remained on staff.
What's especially troubling about the professor's statements about black students scoring at the bottom is that we don't know if that's true or not.
Williams says one must put this latest incident in context. Georgetown University was built on land owned by the Jesuit priests of Maryland. In 1838, they sold 272 slaves to pay off the school.
This latest incident really cast a dark pale on the university's efforts to show some type of institutional equity.
The Black Law Student Association, backed by thousands of students, staff, and alumni, called for the professor's immediate firing. The dean released a statement promising more work, quote, to address the many structural issues of racism reflected in this painful incident.
It has to go also into the hiring of professors who are conscious and aware of how to teach in a multicultural society.
According to the dean's statement, Professor Batson will remain on administrative leave pending an investigation. His students will be regraded without his input. An informational session is scheduled for tomorrow. Delia Gonsalves, WUSA 9.
Now, with that being said, brothers and sisters, do you see what I'm talking about? For all these dudes who talking this nonsense about what we should and what we should not do and how we need to be rocking and it's not no racism, it's not real and all that foolishness. Do you see this? Do you see this? Here's a little more. Here's another tidbit. 52 attorneys were handed 2 papers. One of them said John Brown, and they clearly stated he was a black student. The other one said John Brown, and he was a white student. Both these papers were the exact same paper. They were handed to 52 attorneys. They graded the black paper at 29%. One of the notes on the paper was, how did he get in here? He went to Columbia. He's not equipped to be here. The exact same paper. He has potential. We're going to work with him and things of that nature. So you can't even get a fair shake in law school. But those are just, and then the propagandists will go, those are just those instances. You can't choose that. Well, you know what, why are these cops fearing for their lives? Because those are those instances, right? The instances that you had when the 1 or 2, I don't hear on the news a whole lot of brothers shooting at the cops. So those are just the incidents, right? But again, man, this is why I say what I say. When people argue with me and fight with me and call me biased and say I'm one-sided and I need to do more work and things of that nature. But here's proof positive that historically white institutions are a flawed environment. Now, just because I'm a lover of HBCUs don't mean that it ain't some of these self-loathing brothers and sisters as these HBCUs that'll do the same thing. But I'll ask you this. Let's say those people who had the jaded point of view and treated our brothers and sisters' papers as if they were less than, right? Let's say those papers were less than. Isn't that the purpose of going to an institution of higher learning? Because the law is a complex thing. The law isn't simple. It's a complex animal that is always twisting, turning, and growing at all times. So if it's always twisting, turning, and growing at all times, and if you doubt what I'm saying, all you have to do is look at the United States Constitution. It is a living, breathing document that was left open ended. So in the event times come about, you can change and contort them in accordance to what's going on right now. So the law does the same thing. To quote Thurgood Marshall, the law is up for is to be interpreted each and every situation, not a ironclad situation. So if that's the case, and it's an ever growing, ever learning, ever developing thing. If I'm in his, and if I'm here, right here, I should be there because you should teach me how to argue this. You should teach me how to articulate this. You should teach me how to write these things out. Therefore, I can have a grasp of the law. And once I have a grasp of the law, I can continue to develop the law and continue to feed the law. Instead, as Dr. Greg Carr, PhD in Africana Studies at University of Howard, head of Africana Studies at the University of Howard, PhD in law at Ohio State University, and his law degree from Ohio State University, stated that's the purpose of law school, so you can develop the mind for legal purposes. It's not my words. I'm a criminal justice major. I'm not a law major. I took a law class or two, but they ain't getting me nowhere. I wasn't even close to being an attorney, but that's what we're gonna do. So when you don't have the ability to fairly grade, you potentially come from substandard academic areas of academics, but not when you come from Columbia Law. Nah, I mean Columbia University in New York City is one of the Ivy League schools, so you have adequate education. But with the paper you thought was a white boy, it was cool. So these are the things we're up against. So instead of writing folks off and telling people they're using excuses and things of that nature, and assuming that the law is right, because history shows us that we don't get a fair shake with most things. I'm not telling you to quit. I'm telling you to persevere. I'm telling you to draw an alliance to somebody and someone who clearly has your best interest in mind. And if that has to be HBCU, then so be it. Maybe it's a trade school right now, so you have continuing education. Maybe at some point in the midst of you being an auto mechanic, that's where your heart is, you will say, hey, you know what? I want to become a mechanical engineer and develop a car. Or I want to learn graphics so I can, I want to learn how to code so I can be on the cutting edge of cars. Coding so I can be on the cutting edge of cars. See, what I would ask you to do with your grandchildren, some of us, children, some of us, and young people who are watching, is ask this question to yourself if you're a young person, to your child if you're a grandchild, and if you're a parent, and your grandchild if you're a grandparent. If you had as much money as Michael Jordan, what would you do? And the answer to that question is traditionally what you would do for the rest of your life, because that's what you love to do. For example, I played the Illinois State Lottery tonight. If I win, Late Rent Loud Music Studio is going to be decked out. We're going to be killing them. I'm still doing my show because I love my folks. I like giving this information. I like enhancing the minds of my people as much as I can. I have more time to do research. I have more time to dedicate to the education of my people, the caring of my people, and the meeting of people who are making a difference in this world, to introduce them to my folks. That's what I would do. Because this is fun. I'm an extremely talkative person. Loquacious is what they call it. I like to talk. I like to share. I like to enhance. And I'm down for humanity. That's why I do this. Tomorrow, it's going to be a totally different show. You're going to hear a lot of cussing. You're going to hear a lot of hollering and screaming. But it's all in love, because that's the way men do it. We're going to talk about some things that you might not want to hear about. We're going to talk about things you want to hear about. We're going to talk about things you need to hear about. And we're going to argue about sports. We're going to invite some of my friends who think they know everything. We already think we know everything, but it's going to be good old-fashioned fun. And then, we're going to drop the line in the chat room. And then if you want to come in and you want to get cussed out, you want to cuss us out too, you come on home. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, Central Standard Time. That's 11 Eastern Standard Time. That's 9 Pacific Standard Time. It's called the Jaw Jackets. I got my man Robert Orr and my man TC. They welcome me in, man. Man, we're going to do it on your platform. We want you to be a part of it. Cool. It's on. Thank you, Treat. Much love. But I just want you guys, man, to realize what we going through right here, man. It ain't for everybody, man. College ain't for everybody. And realize what's going on. Last story, and the story that's gonna wrap it up is a almost feel-good story, right? That story is this. That story is Evanston, Illinois. Shout out to Evanston, Illinois for making a solid attempt. Evanston, Illinois is a suburb just to the north of us, and they attempted to make an attempt at a small reparations project. This is a pilot project that's going to potentially give people $25,000. They're talking about you should use for a home voucher. And a sister, Cicely Fleming, she's an alderman in Evanston, and she has questions. She brought up the questions that I brought up Tuesday. Why should I have to spend it this way? Who gets it first, and things of that nature. The reason I'm telling you this is they're still in the voting stages. It's supposed to get voted on the 22nd of March. And I just want to salute them for even making the attempt. But as our sister Cicely stated, she don't want this to be the model for reparations. This isn't reparations. This is the mercure cone on the cut, big as a damn gunshot wound. That's all it is. It is the treatment. It is an attempt at triage. It is the tying the belt across your leg when one of your friends gets shot. It's not reparations. These wicked ass people in the United States of America try to pretend that reparations is a word of profanity. You damaged us. You damaged us to the point, America, talk to you. You damaged me and my people to the point that some of us hate each other, and more important, we hate ourselves. You stripped us of everything that's important of us. You stripped us of our name. Which a lot of people don't mean nothing to me, but it does. Because I take pride in my last name being Williams, and that's my dad's last name, my grandfather's last name. If my last name wouldn't be Williams, I take pride in my mom's maiden name, which is Pollard, Pollard. Because George and Richard was two bad motherfuckers. George Williams, Richard Pollard was some bad motherfuckers. My grandmothers, Maddie and Dolores, two bad sisters. I take pride in that. I know the history of my family. I know my grandfather comes from Rosewood, Florida. I know my other grandfather comes from Arkansas. I know my great grandmother, Esther Cotton, comes from Mississippi, and I know my great grandfather, Theodore Whitmore, comes from Arkansas. I know my grandmother's family comes from Alabama. I know that Nat Turner's my cousin. That means a lot. And when you strip people of things like that, and I can only go so far back, but when you can go further back, you see the pride, and you find out that this dude is your cousin, and that dude is your cousin, and it brings pride and let you know the things that you can accomplish. Y'all took that from me, America. Y'all took that from my brothers, my sisters, my nieces, nephews, cousins, friends, and neighbors, and a lot of my neighbors. So reparations is old. You took our God, because when you can pray to God and you waiting on him to answer your prayers, whether you're religious or not, is not the issue. Some people are. If you're not, save it. But some people use that spirituality to draw on their ancestors to make them a greater situation. As it was taught to me, Jesus walks around, the entity that you call Jesus walks around amongst us and uplifts us. Our ancestors puts him in the right place so he can be there for you. So our ancestors were not slaves. We're not descendants of slaves. We are descendants of the enslaved African prisoners of war captured from the motherland. See, because some people in Africa were warriors. Some people in Africa were tapestry people that made, like the Ashanti tribe that captured the tapestry people that made this cloth itself, that is identifiable throughout the entire world as a symbol of who I am. Right there, the Ashantis. And I got to find the name of that other tribe. See, when you find out things like that, it brings a semblance of pride. My daughter is a seamstress. She don't even know her great grandmother was one, Dolores Pollard. See what I'm saying? My mother and my aunt, they ain't had new clothes. They had tailor-made clothes. Because their mother made clothes. Passed it right to my daughter. I got to tell her about that. My bad. But that's my bad, though. She don't know because I ain't tell her, not because it was erased. If I ever died, she may never know. But I think my sister told her, because my sister, my oldest sister, bought her sewing machine. So I'm 99.9% sure. She said, your grandmother Lois made clothes. I didn't tell her so, but my sister was able to tell her. And when you strip that from the ability of people to know who they are, they think they're less than. And when they think they're less than, they achieve less. And when they achieve less, they strive for less. And when they strive for less, they become drug dealers and gangbangers and hookers and skanks and degenerate adults, male and women, deadbeat dads, and dudes who recidivism rate is insane. That's what you do when you strip us of that. So you owe us, man. We built this country. We've been under reign of tyranny by these damn police officers, by these half-ass politicians, and other dumbasses that walk the street that think they're better than us. So you owe us reparations. So instead of you, salute to Sister Benita. She's gonna be coming on network soon. We spoke, we spoke via text about her show. Hopefully she makes up her mind and she comes. If not, she always supports me. So mad love to the Sister Benita. Mad love. I hope to see you soon. Hope you have you on here soon. Big ups. But you owe us, America. You owe my folks. You owe my grandfolks. You owe my great grandfolks. You owe all my ancestors. My ancestors that's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that was shark bait. You owe us, man. So for y'all that say that they don't, that's cool too. But I'm just letting you know, I'm not trying to hear none of that. I'm not going to hate you, but I'm not going to be bothered with you either. With that being said, I want y'all to continue to support these businesses that I put in front of you. First and foremost, my homeboy Chris, Style Guys. Look him up online. And then I want you to support my sister in the chat room from Trade Naturals. Look up online. So you support my sister Kiana, Culture Closet here in Chicago. Check out online. And I want you to support my homegirl Naisha. I can't think of it. Sapphire. She makes candles. She makes 16 candles from the Scrinatch. They super dope. I want y'all to start supporting these people, man. I'm gonna start having them come on, talk for about 5 or 10 minutes about what they're doing and how you can get in contact with them so you can support them, man. Support, support, support. They support me. I need you to support them. Just like that. I'm bringing on authors. I'm putting together a parent summit so we can talk about parenting today, how it used to be, how it should be, how it could be, and what's been removed. That's my next summit. Either I'm gonna do it next Saturday. I'm trying to get 5 people together. If you want to be a part of it, you know how to get in contact with me. You got your number. You got my number. Hit me up at @HRAP_B. I ain't got to know you to be on my show, but if you get on here acting a damn fool, your ass is gonna be gone like this. But if you come on here talking like you got some good sense, I don't have to agree with you. First and foremost, I don't have to agree with anything that anybody ever said in the history of my show. I'm not asking you to be a puppet, but you're going to say it respectful or you're going to get the hell up out of here. That's all I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, man, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. If you're a background listener, salute to you. Big ups to you. If you came in the chat room and created a profile, came in, a salute to be a participant in this show. Big ups to you. Mad love to you too. I ain't gonna say all your names because don't nobody care who you are but me. Tune in tomorrow. If you want to have some fun, man, you want to see just how silly I can get. You want to see how me and my homies, TC and Robert Oil act a fool. Tune in tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. We're going to cut. We're going to be cussing. Don't invite your grandmama unless you know what cussing sounds like. We're going to be cussing. We're going to be hollering. We're going to be screaming. It's going to be a ball. The homies can come in. Look, I got room for 7 more people. If you can cuss and holler and scream, act a fool, and you ain't got to be able to cuss. You know, act a fool and talk about people, mom, and all that type of stuff. That's the only thing we're not doing, talking about somebody's mom. We're going to have some fun, though. We're going to show y'all how to get down on our Get Down. It's called The End of the Bench with the Jaw Jackals. It's going to be fun. Tune in, man. And then Monday morning, I want you to tune in. No one Chief Rock Jersey Vern. Then Tuesday evening, I'm going to be back. I got some more stuff. I got some Candace songs. I got some Herschel Walker. I got some Candace Owens, Herschel Walker. What's that other clown name? Candace Owens, Herschel Walker. My sister Cheryl Underwood, she ain't jump out the window. That's a segment on the Jaw Jacket. She didn't jump out the window, but we're gonna talk about her. We're gonna talk about Candace on the sister Stacy Dad. See, I have to save a little bit for y'all, man. I gotta save a little bit. But I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna keep it all the way funky for y'all, man. If y'all want to support the show, man, I'm gonna hit you with the Lisa McDowell. You can send a brother type of change, that type of money, that jingles, but you can send me the type that folds at $TheEndofdabench. It's the name of the show, The End of the Bench. I am HRB. We are on Built for This Network. You can catch this on several podcast entities. I'm gonna go over it again. You did not miss my show. If you tell me that again, I'm gonna say this dude is full of it. I'm gonna start telling people to your face you a lie, because my show is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can catch me on Spreaker.com at Built for This Network with my man DJ Mad Knox, DJ Mad Knox, DJ Mooka Dean, DJ Purpleicious, my man Big Illinois, Mooka Dean, Chiz Roundtree, James Earl, and my main man. He here in Chicago. Had to have my car, but be an accident. Every time Joe come to town, something happened to my car. Don't stay your ass Oak Town, Oak Park. Love you like a little brother on my daddy's side, but stay your ass Oak Park home and get my car hit. Every time you in town, somebody hit my car. But if you can't catch with us up on Spreaker.com, go to Spreaker.com, YouTube for Built for This Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer Podcast Addict, or wherever you get your podcasts. Download it to. This is your man, H-Rap B. As I say every week, dream those dreams and man up and one up and live those dreams. Because life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in Technicolor and surround sound. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to tell you 1,000 times. Get on top of your shit, because if you don't get on top of it, you're going to end up on the bottom. 2 fingers, 1 word. It's your man, H-Rap, and I am out.